I find it very interesting to be doing a review on the book of Boba Fett when there's no Boba Fett. This entire episode is all based around Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian. So let's start it out. Start out pretty similar to how things worked out in the first episode of The Mandalorian. He comes in, he's got a puck, he's got the bounty on there. He's like, I can bring in hot or cold. Well, this guy apparently wanted to go cold. So, fight breaks out. Mando kicks the shit out of everyone, uses the dark saber. It ends up having an issue where he ends up accidentally hitting himself in the leg with it and actually causing tissue damage to his leg and to his uniform. So it's interesting to note he's still not that well trained in it. He's only had the darksaber for, at this point, a very short amount of time. Maybe, we're not exactly clear on the timeline. Maybe it's been a couple of months since the end of Mandalorian Season 2. We're just not sure. So he ends up getting his bounty, gets the information he wants once he returns the bounty. Meets up with his coven, who currently, right now, there's only 3 of them. There's Fizz Vizsla, there is the Armorer, and there is Din Djarin. He shows her the dark saber, and she takes his pike, the Beskar pike, and says, Beskar is for arm, not weapons. So Din Djarin goes ahead and she makes it. She changes something up. We don't know what she created. It's meant for Grogu, so she makes it for him. Vizsla decides he wants the darksaber because it belongs from his family, because it was his clan that had the first that was the first Mandalore with the darksaber and was a Jedi. Well, the fight ensues. Vizsla loses, and the armor stops the fight after it's been decided it's pretty much Vizsla loses. But she asked Din, did you ever remove your helmet? And he has to say yes. And it's interesting because she doesn't try to take his armor away, take the darksaber away, or even give her Baby Yoda. She just says, you're no longer a Mandalorian. And of course, he's asking if there is a way to redeem himself. And apparently there is. So the armor tells him that it has to do with the mines on Mandalore. So there is something. This one is way more intelligent and way more patient than you would see in a person like that, especially losing most of her coven, finding out one of her only 2 other ones left has dishonored himself, even though he did complete his charge. So there's something about her in this where she's setting things in motion. This pretty much tells you what's going to happen for Mandalorian Season 3. Is we're going to Mandalore. We will probably have Bo-Katan in it. And this will be maybe him taking over as Mandalore. I don't know. That would be interesting. But we'll see. The second half that was really the good part of it. The second half is unfortunately about 15-16 minutes longer than it should be. It's mostly them going back to Tatooine. It's Din Djarin getting back to Tatooine. He meets up with Mado, and she has an old Naboo N1 fighter. And pretty much the next part is them putting this damn thing together, which is fine, but it was just way too damn long. Didn't need to be done. The banter was fun, but still, it was longer than it should have been. But he gets a really interesting souped up Naboo fighter. It's got some kick-ass, got a kick-ass engine. It's almost like the way it sounded when they fired it up. I'm like, is this trying to make a play off the Hemi sound that a Hemi makes when you rev it up? So he takes the fighter out for a joyride, says it does pretty good. I know there are going to be people who are going to be pissed that he used the term wizard when he got out of that thing. And I would not be surprised if that was done as tongue-in-cheek. Just a reference back to when Anakin Skywalker said it in episode 1. So, the thing is, for a 7-episode series, that was a filler episode. And I don't see how you really have time to do fillers like that in a 7-episode series. Finnick was only in there for a few seconds. She's a character I think is being completely underutilized. So I'm going to assume the next 2 episodes are going to include the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, and he's going to assist in the fight against the Pikes. Overall, not a bad episode, but like I said, could have been... just could have been about 15 minutes shorter. Alright, folks, that's all I got for today. You all have a blessed one.